Our team coverage continues tonight. The city of Waterbury is dealing with lots of damage from today's heavy rain. Many streets were flooded and there's road debris everywhere. Chief political reporter Susan Raff shows us what happened to roads and cars.
This neighborhood near Waterbury Hospital was hit hard by the flooding. This is Robin Street. All the water came down, pretty much collapsing the sidewalk. There is debris everywhere. And if you look over there, that blue car, the driver was driving through the flood, and suddenly the car stopped.
A lot of cars got stuck. A lot of cars. It was crazy.
This is Robin Street near Route 8.
Everything was flooded. It was like a pond.
And this is what we saw in another neighborhood. Look at all this water near Homer Street and Thomaston Avenue. Parking lots were flooded and cars were submerged. There was so much water, storm drains couldn't handle it all. Flooding caused a lot of damage, especially to those who were driving around.
And there are these huge rocks that wash down all along the road that people are driving over and damaging their cars even when they're out of the water.
Have you ever seen flooding like this in this area?
Nope, never seen this. I've been here for 20 years. I've never seen it like this.
The city of Waterbury activated its Emergency Operations Center to handle all of the 911 calls. Much of the water has now subsided, but roads are still in pretty bad shape, and there's lots of debris. Cleanup will take weeks. While most of the water has now subsided, the damage left behind is pretty bad. In fact, these gas pumps are not working right now. That's because the water seeped underground and contaminated the fuel, and they won't be able to use them until they are fixed. In Waterbury, Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And our team coverage continues in Bristol, where residents are starting the cleanup process as the water begins to recede. Our cameras were out in the city as the floodwaters came through in some parts. Homeowners say they tried to protect as much of their property as possible from damage. Now the cleanup process is underway.
The biggest thing right now is just getting all the water to kind of recede and get out, and then once all the water's kind of cleared, then that's when we can start the cleanup process, like power washing the driveways, airing out the basement, bleaching it, having to wipe things down. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it.
Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt as a result of all the flooding problems. Flights at Tweed New Haven Airport were also affected due to the heavy flooding earlier today. Many flights had to be delayed and some even rescheduled as crews worked to reopen the airport. As always, call the airline and not the airport to find out the status of your flight. We'll have the very latest on air and on the Channel 3 app.